Hey, this is John Popper with the Popper and the Papa-cast. We call this emergency podcast to answer a very serious question. Papa, why they want to give you the run around?
That is a good question. Because I didn't do anything Colonel Sanders didn't do before me. They want to take away my apostrophe? What's next? Peyton Manning? What do I got to do? Go back to the shadows?
Shadows. Fuck yes. Finally. And it's not just Back to the Shadows, it's back to our Golden Globe. Wait, it's not quite Golden Globus.
No, not quite.
Holy fuck, does this feel like Golden Globus?
Yeah, I literally thought this was a Golden Globus until I checked. But...
I mean, you saw this movie as a youngin'.
Yeah.
So naturally, when we're watching all these Golden Globus movies, which some people might argue we haven't done in a while, fuck them. Shut up. Dude, this feels like a Golden Globus movie through and through. And recollection, you would immediately be like, yeah, I remember this Golden Globus movie, Pray for Death.
Yeah, I thought all of Sho Kosugi's movies were Golden Globus. I was shocked to find out this wasn't.
They have that feel, like the whole Van Damme story is he was in a restaurant working and he did like a nice roundhouse kick and Golem saw it. It was like, fuck yeah, you need a movie right now. I could see Kosugi being replaced with Van Damme in that scenario. And we know Kosugi can kick.
Yeah.
Unlike Chuck.
Well, they did a movie together, which we haven't covered yet, but I'm sure we'll get to. Black Eagle.
Which movie was that?
Black Eagle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you see, that was the scar of my my youth. Because my hero, Jean-Claude, was a bad guy in it.
Well, that's funny you say that because much like Jean-Claude, Sho Kosugi started out as a villain. Of course, he was in I think it was our third episode, Enter the Ninja.
Oh, that's
he was the villain.
Right. That was so weird. Even in that movie, I thought he was kind of a good guy.
Well, yeah, he had definitely a point of view.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, so I'm glad. I'm glad we're getting back to Sho Kosugi because Enter the Ninja was just like the tip of the iceberg of Sho Kosugi.
Kosugi. I mean, I think I've seen 4 or so of his movies, and they're all great.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's super underrated. A lot of people have forgotten him, and that's part of. I'm glad we have this show to remind people. Like, I put him up there with like Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan and all those like greats of martial arts.
He's basically like the late 70s, early 80s version of Will Smith, in that he casted his kids, and his kids did a great job. They acted their little asses off.
No, that's the one drawback. Fuck Kane and Shane, his sons.
Oh, you don't like them in the movies?
Well, Kane is okay. Shane fucking sucks.
I've got some great news for anybody who also agrees with Murray that Shane sucks. Gets kind of pummeled in this movie.
Yeah, he's like a punching bag in this movie, and I enjoyed every minute. I'm sorry, I laughed every time he got beat up.
Yeah,
I know I'm not supposed to. Seeing like an 8-year-old getting the shit kicked out of him, but it was funny.
Yeah, it kind of was. It really, yeah. There's something hilarious about seeing an adult like just fully wind up and punch through a child.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like the absurdity of it all. I mean, what do we do here? Do we want to jump right in?
Yeah, let's just get into it, man, because we got a lot to discuss.
We got a lot. And we need to get an episode under 150 for once.
Yeah, everybody needs a break.
Everybody needs a break.
So let's just cut to that trailer. Sho Kosugi in Pray for Death.
Yeah!
He came to America to escape his past.
You will always be a ninja.
Now, his wife. His children. His home and his honor must be defended.
If you just want protection, why don't you go hire yourself a private detective?
No ordinary man could do it alone. But this is no ordinary man. Pray for death.
This has gone far enough.
If we are all free to do what we like, I am free to kill those animals.
Sho Kosugi. Shadow Warrior. Ninja, judge, and jury. Vengeance will be his. Pray for death.
So we get right into this action, ninjas, cutting, chopping, everything.
Well, yeah, like I noticed at the beginning, very similar to the beginning of Enter the Ninja, where Sho, he not only entertains you, he educates you on what a ninja is, what he's
Piece of
about.
shit. Yeah.
Okay. But he's showing you all the weapons of a ninja. So there's a scene where he's wearing kind of like, it's not a kimono, I don't know what it's like, kind of like a samurai outfit. Like when they're not wearing their armor, the kind of like the baggy pants and everything.
Oh, yeah. Let's call that the Bushido wear. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
But it sounds
right.
right.
It works for me.
Yeah.
And he's like demonstrating all the different like weapons, and Kane is also as well, showing that kids can murder too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we have that great fucking song "Back to the Shadows" playing in the background, and it's just like a demonstration to like prime you on what a ninja's about, what their weapons are. So you're not like, what's that? What's going on? Like you know right from the get-go what it is. And then what I love about this movie is they immediately jump straight to action. There's a ninja fight in the first 2 minutes of the movie.
I was confused. That's the point, though.
Right. So, like, there were this forest, and there's this woman who's, like, dressed like a geisha. You're, like, thinking, is this, like, ancient Japan? What's going on here?
Yeah.
And she's being accosted by, like, these ninjas, and they're, like, grabbing her, taking her into, one of those, like, houses with the paper walls and everything, like the traditional Japanese houses. And I'm assuming she's getting raped because this is an 80s movie. And there's this guy wearing this, like, Oni demon mask, and he's got the ninja outfit. And then this shows up in his black ninja outfit, and he starts just fucking murdering everybody.
Yeah, it was sweet action. And, of course, like, just when you think, like, holy fuck, this movie is 2 minutes in, and it's already going off the rails.
You feel like you came in an hour into the movie.
Exactly. But let's cut to reality, as Eminem likes to say, and we're going to pan out, and it's a couple of kids, Shane and Kane.
Fucking Kane and Shane.
And they're watching their favorite movie. I think it was called Black Ninja.
I think it was supposed to be a TV show, but...
Yeah, actually, I think it was supposed to be a TV show. And, of course, their mom's like, kids, come on, it's time to get ready for dinner. Turn off that stupid ninja shit, man.
Aw, Mom.
Black Ninja. Everybody watches Black Ninja, Mom. We're going to be beat up at school if we don't watch Black Ninja.
And then Sho shows up.
Oh, yeah.
And he's wearing, like, a suit. He's like, wait, what's going on? I'm like totally confused. I just saw him fuck somebody up as a ninja.
Yeah, it was really weird. Well, didn't we watch a movie where somebody saw Enter the Ninja? He sees him on the movie, and he's like, that motherfucker. Don't you remember? Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Holy shit. There was this scene where, I forget our white hero in that movie.
Franco Nero. He was watching the movie, and it was Sho Kosugi in the movie. Oh, I don't even remember
It would be great if... You know what? I'm going to tell you. It's the same footage. I've ruined it. But yeah, it was really akin to that. So Sho comes home. He's like a banker or something. He's telling his wife, like, oh, my God. They want me to take $1 million raise. They want me to move to America. Well,
no, they don't want... they didn't want to move to America, did they?
Yeah. His company was, like, offering him a position.
I thought they were just, like... They were like offering this like to be like vice president or whatever and everything, and he was like, you know what, it's been my dream to open my own business, and he like floats that idea, and he's like, and you always get his wife is half American, half Japanese.
Oh, that would make way more sense.
Right.
Your theory on this.
So, well, first we have the scene where they're like you're eating dinner, and they're doing traditional Japanese style, sitting on the floor on the pillows and the little low table, and then it's like
they are in Japan at this point,
and so they're like, all right, time for bed, kids, and the kids like attack Sho, like these little samurai swords they have.
Shane's tripping over himself while Kane's beating the shit out of Sho.
And then they're like, oh, Dad, you need to learn some ninja skills. And then he's like, oh, maybe I do. And then like wink at the camera.
Totally breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah. And we're like, we know you're a ninja.
It's so good. So good.
And then
So good.
So good. Right. So we cut to Sho and his wife in bed, very chaste. They're clothed. They're just
Fully
sleeping.
clothed.
You know.
Magic Mormon underwear and all.
And then he's like, "Oh yes, I'm going to get this as a promotion." But man, it's always been my dream to be my own. Like he's a very American spirit.
Way more sense.
Yeah,
way more. Okay.
And he's like,
We're going with your plot.
And he's like, and you grew up in America. Like, how would you feel about? I think it was he just wanted to start his own business. She's like, how about America? Because we're the land of entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's like, I don't know. It's very violent in America.
Very violent.
You know, like it's very beautiful and peaceful here in Japan. It's very violent. She's like, oh, don't believe what you see in the movies. You know.
Yeah. You've also been watching too much TV.
And then he's like, okay, I'm going to pray on it. I'm going to go to my Buddhist temple, and I'm going to pray on it, and the ninja spirits will tell me what I need to do.
So we're going to go. We're going to go check out his nice temple there.
Yeah.
And it was like half flashback, half current times.
Right. It threw me off. Yeah, it threw me off, and I think it was supposed to throw me off.
Yeah.
Because you just see him sitting there praying, and then you see this red ninja.
Yeah.
And he's like opening up, like, there's this giant Buddha statue, and there's like these like drawers underneath, and he's stealing his jewelry out of there.
Back to the foreshadow.
Exactly. And so you're like, well, what's the fuck's going on? And then we cut to it's a flashback, and Sho walks in on this guy, and he's like, hey, motherfucker, you can't steal from the Buddhist temple. So like another fucking fight breaks. That's what I love about this movie. This nonstop action.
Yeah.
So even the past couple movies, there's been a lot of slow parts.
A lot of peeping.
We got like an hour and 27 minutes for this one,
and it's 90% fights and getting hit by cars.
Yes. And so another fight ensues, and the Red Ninja hurls his samurai sword at Sho. Sho dodges it, and it goes right through a big pillar that's holding up like the ceiling. So you got the blade sticking out the ends, because this is important, because what happens now is Sho subdues the Red Ninja, rips the mask off. Holy shit, it's Shoji, his brother.
Fucking Soji.
And he's like, what? He's like, and then Shoji like uses it when he's like, you know, like stunned for a second. Shoji gets away from him, but Shoji's kind of like Sho is kind of like the Kane of the family. Shoji's kind of like the Shane of the family. Yeah. Because Shoji slips on like a scabbard of his samurai sword and falls on the sword that's sticking out of the pillar.
Of course he does.
And then, meanwhile, so while that's happening, the old master, classic kung fu master, he's got the long white hair, long white beard, comes out.
The eyebrows that are so long that
like,
he like licks them into chops.
Yeah, it's like Pai Mei from Kill Bill.
Yup.
And he comes out. And he gives the old like fucking fortune cookie kind of shit, you know. It's like about like you cannot escape your shadow and all this shit.
You gotta get back into the shadow. You gotta
get back to the shadow.
A lot of shadow talk. It's hard to follow because we're Westerners, you know.
Right, we don't know this shit. This is Alien does.
This is Alien does.
But he's just like, look, I'm done with ninja shit, dude. My brother died because of ninja shit. I'm out. Like a classic Golden Globus character. He's like, I'm out. I'm done.
He has like a real conversation with them. So apparently his parents were orphaned.
Yes.
Which brings up another question. Like, we talk about, if you're a cop, never talk about retirement. Never say you're 2 weeks from retirement.
Right.
Ever. 2 years, you're safe. 2 weeks, you're fucked. Does that apply to ninjas, too? Maybe his ninja parents were like, hey, we're 2 weeks from ninja retirement.
I can speak from authority on this because much like ninjas, the Nang Chen tail thing, It's not. You can't quit it. You're in for life.
Okay.
And that's what the master's trying to get across to him. He's like,
That
look.
makes sense.
He's like, look, you can't. You're always going to go back to the shadows. And he's like, but Sho thinks he knows better. But this guy is like a fucking 200 years old. He knows everything there is to know.
And his bowel movements were fucking sharp.
Okay.
I could tell.
Tell by the way he walked.
Yeah.
And he's like, look. He's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I've heard that a million times from everyone who wants to quit the ninja lifestyle.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, here, take this Shredder helmet. Because his helmet looks just like Shredder from Ninja Turtles'
really
helmet.
Did, now that you mention it.
And he's like, take this as a souvenir, or like a memento of your time as a ninja. And he's like, thank you.
Always remember.
So now we cut to a scene of an airplane flying right into, I'm guessing L.A. I don't fucking know where they're coming from.
They didn't think any more about it. They were just like, peace, we're going
America.
we're going to the old US of A. And they're not just going anywhere. We're going to 80s L.A.
We're assuming. We don't know.
It
could have been San Francisco because they have a large Asian population. I don't know.
Well, based on the
we know they're not going back to the shadows.
Not going back to the shadows. They're going
so
to
they
America.
show up. So we get the classic like movie version of what the ghetto looks like. There's like some homeless guy drinking booze on the street. There's barrels with trash in it.
Yeah, there's barrels of trash in it. Their corner neighbor, it was like a car junkyard. There was like hubcaps on a fence and tires and shit. And then this was the most boggling part. If anyone feels encouraged to watch this movie or already watched this movie, explain to me what's going on with this neighborhood. Because it's like one side is like happy people walking around. The other side is like shit.
It's like 8 Mile. It's like on one side's
really
fun, one side's
It really is.
And we get scenes to know how rough this neighborhood is. Sho like accidentally bumps into a guy, and the guy's like, "Hey man, what the fuck, man?"
Because they were walking to the house, and oh my god!
And then like Sho has this like back to the shadows flashback where he remembers his ninja training like kicks in like immediately. He's about to kill this guy.
Again, if anybody watched this movie, they'd expect me to cut in that sound effect of and him going, "Huh!" But I couldn't get it, so you're just gonna have to deal with it.
Use your imagination.
Use your imagination.
So, like, you can tell, like, the master was right. Like, he immediately goes back to his ninja training. But he's like, my kids are here. I'm not going to kill this guy. And then, of course, since it's like, this is an 80s inner city area, we got to have the black kids with a boombox playing some shit.
Their music sounded slightly Asian, though.
I thought it was like jazzy sounding.
It was jazzy, but it also had like this Asian vibe.
They're inclusive, you know.
Yeah, I liked it. I was like, these guys probably would be cool together, but you know.
So now we get to where they're going to have their business. They're going to open a Japanese restaurant by this piece of shit like corner store kind of place.
Yeah,
and owned by the kindly Sam Green.
Sam McGreen?
No, just Sam Green.
Oh, just Sam Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a character from fucking Game of Thrones, but so this guy welcomes the family. Oh, he's the most welcoming old man. It's just beautiful spirit. Like, this neighborhood used to be so much better. Right. Oh, just never let your kids out by themselves. Never go anywhere. Never lock your door.
Never feed your kids after midnight.
Never feed your kids
Never get your kids wet.
Make sure to lock your doors. Don't leave a car on the street. Like, everything that every white person around here is scared about, like going slightly close to Detroit, that's what this guy was telling them.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately. And the funny thing was, the people that giving him shit weren't the neighbors.
No.
This shows, stereotypes,
exactly.
Man. Come on.
Exactly. So he walks him around the house. He's like, so this is the restaurant.
Well, we kind of learned that I'm guessing he was widowed because he brings up this woman Minnie, and she had this cigar shop that was like adjacent, like a part of the area they're buying. And he's just like, oh, it's never been the same now that Minnie's gone. Like, I'm gonna go to live with my sister in Atlantic City, and
go up to the Taj Mahal. Of course, that was still around back then,
right? And so he's just showing him around. He's like. Well, this is also where Sho shows a little bit of his ninja skills because where the cigar shop was, there's a padlock on the door, and he's like, "Oh, I lost the key. I don't know what on how to open this." And Sho goes, "Let me try," and he just like, boom, blows the fucking door off.
Dude.
And the guy's like, wow, Dad.
You've heard of a 1-inch punch from Kill Bill? Again,
Yeah.
sorry to reference that, but it's an easy thing people know.
5-finger death punch?
What? No, shut up. The 1-inch
That was
punch.
from the fucking Kill Bill.
Was it?
Yeah, the shitty band stole the name, but that was Kill Bill.
Really?
5-finger death punch.
Oh, God. I hate that band for giving me bad impressions
1 inch
of that.
was the Bruce Lee thing, where he would be like 1 inch away from you in this punch.
Well, I thought they did that too, where she put her
Yeah,
hand
she
out
did
and
that.
then...
Yeah.
Okay, but that's what I thought they called it. So he doesn't even do that. He puts his knuckles to the door and then just turns his head and drives right through it. Doesn't even pull his fist off the door. That's how fucking strong he is. It's
The
ridiculous.
kids are like, it's like the Black Ninja, Dad. Wow. And then
Yeah.
they go, I'm bored, and they walk away. And then we get a little more.
They peep in the door and they're just like, that's fucking shit. Ugh.
So then and Sam Green shows them around again, and then I don't know. I think we missed this scene, or I don't know if it happens later, but we get a scene. I think it happened earlier, before they come to America, where we see these shady guys bust into the cigar shop area of the.
No, that happens while they're like in the house.
I thought it happened when the guy goes to check it, but when they dump it off, I think it happened early. 'Cause it was at night when it happened.
Dude, it was like when they moved in. They didn't bring up any of America stuff until
Okay.
they were in the house. So, the wife was like hanging out to clean up the place and everything. You know what? It might have been right before they moved in the house.
Yeah.
But it definitely...
Okay,
yeah.
so what happens is later that night, these shady characters like go into the cigar shop area, and they have like this package. It looked like a pack. I thought it was drugs. It looked like a package
Yeah.
of cocaine.
Yeah, we assume cocaine because 80s.
Yeah.
Or
And
P2P.
So he opens this or P2P, and he opens this like floorboard. He pulls up a floorboard, and that's where he's going to hide it. And then he decides, no, fuck this. I'm going to open it up.
Yeah.
And he opens up the bag of cocaine and pulls out this like diamond necklace.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the are they? What are they smuggling? Are they smoking cocaine or are they smuggling diamonds?
Cool. Yeah.
But
he
whatever.
did it like a shit though, because he comes in with another guy. So the guy sees him put it in there. The guy leaves, and then our thief here, like gets ready to leave, and then he takes it.
A thief who,
Oh.
by the way, looked like Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I literally thought
A
he was
skinny Carl.
Yes, he was in. Yeah, I
Before he turns into-
thought he was the same actor from our Treasure of the Four Crowns episode.
For sure.
He had the big droopy mustache and like balding a little.
Oh, he's for sure.
Anyway, so he's supposed to drop off this necklace, but he decides he's going to steal it. So he just pockets it. I think he leaves the cocaine or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah.
And they just leave. So back to the shadows. We go back to Sho and his family, and like you said, they're cleaning the place up.
Yep. Clean montage.
And then Sam, kindly old Sam's like, "Hey, I want to show you that warehouse I'm also selling you.
Yeah.
So we'll go check that out." So him, Sho, and the kids take off. The wife stays behind to like clean up because it's a woman's job. And Jesus Christ. So while she's cleaning out the front room, we see this shady elderly character named Limehouse Willie. And he's going to be the main henchman for this movie. The guy,
Oh,
the worst
yeah.
henchman ever. He's like fucking 80 years old.
Yeah.
Not intimidating at all. He's English on top of which isn't intimidating. And he goes in, and of course he's going to pick up the necklace. That's his job.
Yeah.
And of course he sees the necklace isn't there.
He's picking up for his boss. And so he's also got reins on the two people who are supposed to drop it off. So, he's going to be all kinds of fury. He's going to be all kinds of fury when he finds out that necklace isn't there. So he gets all pissed off and he goes back to the car and he's like, that old man,
that
Sam
fucking
Green.
old man.
And they see him driving off. You notice that all the possessions he takes with him are like a wooden chair, like a rug.
Yeah, he was
one of those tobacco chief statues things. He had one of those on top of his car.
He lives like a simple life,
I appreciate
He's a simple
that.
man with a
Good
simple
for
life.
him.
So Sam's basically 2 hours away from retirement. So something bad's happening to this guy.
I mean, 2 weeks is bad. 2 hours is fucking terrible.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Because he's like at a stop sign. All of a sudden, Limehouse Willie and his goons drive up, block him off. Like I guess one
Under a bridge.
Yeah, they take him to the abandoned Sparks factory.
Yeah, there's so much. you have to go around the block to find an abandoned anything around this neighborhood.
Right. So they take him out of the station wagon. He's beat up old station wagon. They're like, "Hey, you fucking thief! Where's our necklace?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So then he's like, "Oh, I think you do." So he's like, beat the shit out of this old man, because this is the only guy this fucking line really could beat up, is somebody who's like more elderly than him.
Yeah, exactly. AARP
and then
members.
they tie him down to the hood of his station wagon. Somebody has like a can of gas on him.
Yeah.
So they say, "Hey, fuck it, I got this gas. Let's set this old man on fire." So they just throw the gas all over the station wagon, set it on fire, immediately explodes, because that's, of course, everything immediately explodes in movies.
Yeah, and you know, of course, he's just like, let's give this old timer an old Viking funeral.
And it's kind of like, if you were sure that he didn't have it, why not just let the old guy live and just go? I mean, he's going to die in a couple of years anyway.
I mean, he can't.
It's kind of, that's fucking hardcore way to kill somebody. I'm going to set you on fire.
You could just like look in his car. You know, he's got all of his worldly possessions: the fucking cigar, tobacco chief guy, the chair. You know, you could look, but instead they were just like, no, murder's easier.
Yeah, well, this shows you how hardcore these bad guys are.
Well, they'd even look in the car afterwards. So
I don't think they looked at the car at all. Yeah, they were just
no, they didn't.
They were like, "All right, we take your word you don't have it. We're going to murder you now."
Yeah, yeah. You know what? We believe you, but I'm going to murder you because you're so believable. So after this traumatic experience, of course, we're going to cut back to our happy family. And in a day, we didn't get to see the montage, but there was a montage of them cleaning up this place because the restaurant level
They're very industrious people.
is already perfection.
Ready. Health inspector's been by. They're ready to go.
Exactly. Like, I've worked in restaurants. It takes months to open. Them,
Not when Sho Kosugi is
boom.
around.
That's why the 80s was such a good time for small businesses, though. No
Right.
regulations at
Exactly.
all.
You're exactly right, Griff. That's what held them back.
Yeah.
Like that's why it took forever, like when you were talking about, because all these fucking regulations. We had no regulations in the 80s.
No regulations back then.
All right.
They didn't have any food on them.
Which when you don't have regulations, you have time to fix up your shop, which is what they
Exactly.
did.
So, like, all the old wood has been replaced with beautiful new wood. It's like all bamboo, stained beautifully. Light just hits this wall like it's a goddamn beacon for Jesus himself. It's amazing. I loved it.
And we get to see them get their first sale.
Oh, yeah.
And you think Sho's got some ninja tricks. His wife
Yeah.
gets the dollar, puts it down like below, comes back up in a second, it's framed.
It's framed.
And then Joe's like, and then he like hangs it on the wall. And the kids are like, well, fuck this shit. We're dumb kids. We're just going to go to the party
No,
store.
man, come on. The mom totally heeding the advice of the old man who said, do not ever let your kids leave the house unadvised, unsupervised. Thank you. She's like, hey, go to that corner liquor store that looked really fucking shady and get us some milk. And they're like, of course,
well, as we
Mom.
know from our buddy Mullins, the best milk comes from shady liquor stores.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I will say the best slice of pizza you could get in the Detroit area, well, it's closed now, was Tweeny's Pizza.
Well, that's probably because you were drunk when you were eating it.
No. Well, I wasn't a drunk when I was 10 to 20.
Oh, sure you weren't.
Okay. I'm no Brett Kavanaugh, but I wasn't drunk.
So they're at the party store, as we call it here in Detroit. And
oh, yeah, that is a Detroit thing.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And they're walking out, and of course, I think Kane had his bike with him. He's so proud of his bike. Of course, these dirtbag kids show up.
He rode his brother on the pegs, man.
Yeah.
Kane's a good big brother.
Right. Well, has to be. He's got to protect that loser, because
Yeah.
we kind of glossed over it earlier, but there's a scene when they're in Japan where Shane
Oh
is
my
at the
God.
dojo.
How did we forget about this scene?
So they have, and I'll give Shane some slack on this one. Shane is he's 8 years old. And he's fighting like a 20-year-old man. And this guy's merciless on Shane. He beats the shit out of him.
Absolutely.
And Sho is watching it.
And the train, like the what do they call the masters? I forget.
Sensei.
Sensei. The sensei is just like approving of it. Like, yes, fucking unruly. And all the kids that are also in the class, because it's the only 20-year-old in the class. Everybody else is 8 to 10.
Right.
And yeah, so Kane's like, the sensei pops up. Anybody else? And of course, Kane's like, I'm I'm gonna show this bitch a thing or two. He just fucking wrecks him.
Yeah, just fucking avenges his brother.
Like he lures the teen or the 20-year-old into like thinking he's winning the fight, and so the timid 20-year-old tries to throw Kane over his shoulder, but Kane uses all that momentum and fucking
That's what it's
rips
all
him.
about, Grit. It's not about
Exactly.
power. It's about momentum.
It's about momentum.
And balance.
Fucking rips him, just throws him 14 feet away into a wall of like spears, ornamental spears and shit, just breaks them all, and Sensei starts to slow clap.
And Sho's looking on in approval.
That's right. Sho
Like-
walks in and it's just
Because
like,
as we know, because the kids don't know he's a ninja, but we know he's a
Yeah.
ninja. And he's like, I see my ninja skills. I don't know what the fuck's up with
you
Shane,
see him lean
but I
into
see
it.
my ninja skills
Yeah.
in Kane.
He whispers into another parent's ear, "That's my seed." Yeah.
So, cut back to the second ass whipping Shane gets in this movie. So, these kids, these dirtbag kids, and they're all like probably 12 to 15 kind of
Jean
range.
jackets, metal
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
D&D dice rolling, because that's what's bad in the 80s.
They got like an Ozzy Osbourne fucking record playing. And kid bites the head off a bat, and like Shane's like, "Hey, that's my brother's bike," and they just fucking lay Shane out. And then you know what it remind me of the Christmas Story where the kids when the kid beats up the bully, but his little brother just collapses on the fucking ground and
Yeah.
doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like that's Shane's defense. He just does a slug move where he just collapses on the ground.
Absolutely.
And it works for him because then Kane comes out and just starts whooping ass. He's beating up 4 people.
4.
Kicks a fat black kid in the ass. He's fucking.
It's so ridiculous. It's a multicultural like gang of
As
thieves.
always, all the 80s, there were always diverse gangs, as you see in real life.
There's a black kid, there's a Latin kid, there's a white kid, and then there's like a ginger kid, which somehow always gets categorized as like its own thing.
So he's just fucking tearing ass. He's kicking ass. He's taking names.
He's having fun with them. And
He's
then
just toying with them.
and then a car rolls up, and of course it's
Limehouse?
what we know as our main villain.
Yeah, Limehouse Willie.
Limehouse Willie.
Elderly Englishman.
And he sees what's going on, and so he pops his door open, and he sees that Kane, or not Kane, but he sees Kane kicking ass.
Well,
but he sees Shane.
he assumes, he's like, well, I know kindly old Sam Green didn't steal the necklace because we murdered him. So it's got to be these Japanese people. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to kidnap one of his children and get the location of the jewels.
We got to get that.
So of course he's like most predators, you can pick the weakest of the
Well, like you mentioned,
herd.
the kid is basically laying on the ground while the other kid is taking out 4 teenagers.
So he picks the lamest of the herd, which is Shane, of course, and grabs him and runs to the car. And Kane's like, "Hey, what the fuck? It's my brother!"
Kane runs up to the car and is just like, "Ah!" And then
Limehouse Willie just lays him out with a punch in the face.
punches him in the face.
Oh, I know I'm not supposed to laugh, but I was laughing so hard at this.
But his head is basically like a jack-in-the-box swivel, so it goes back and it comes right back up. And so Limehouse is just like, "Fuck you." Door checks. He completely lays this kid out. And so we got to go, we got to follow Kane home now to, tail
Right.
between his legs like, "Hey, these 4 teenagers try to jump us. I beat the shit out of them." And of course, Sho's like, "Of course you did. Where's your brother?"
How bad did Shane get his ass kicked? and he's like, "Well, the usual."
Well, he's been captured. But Kane, by the way, is bleeding everywhere.
Well, he's
His
got a punch in the face.
His whole face is just covered in blood, and his mom is completely freaked out, and Sho is just like, "All right."
And then while that happened, we get a call from Limehouse Willie, and he's like, "Hey, if you want your kid back, you better bring that necklace to was it like a boat or something?"
It's
like the docks. It was at the docks.
I think it was the docks. So stupid.
So we cut to the scene later at night. Sho's like, "I got to go back to the shadows," and he gets like,
His wife's
gets
like,
his-
"We gotta call the cops," and he's like, "No,
no.
let me do my thing. Let me do my thing."
And we learn we learn later in the movie that's a good idea, Sho, because the cops are fucking useless in this movie.
Would you go ahead and just say that is a back to the foreshadow?
Yes. So we cut to the scene. We're on this, I'm going to say we're on a boat. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And shows up. I think he kicks a lot of ass. I think he like kicked the guard's ass.
No, he doesn't do anything at this point.
Does he?
He just walks in and it's just like, you have my son.
And like, yeah, we got your son. Where's our necklace? And he's like, and then they like tie Sho's hands up above his head. And they start like torch. He's like, I don't have it. You know, it's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's like, oh, we think you do. So they're like, I'm going to torture this out of you. So first, Limehouse Willie pulls out a switchblade and he puts it in Sho's nose for some reason.
Yeah.
And then he pulls it out. He doesn't cut the nose. And then he gets into some weird S&M stuff where he rips open Sho's shirt and starts cutting his chest with a switchblade.
Yeah.
And Sho is total like stoic. He's like, he doesn't even feel it.
Even before that, you know, he broke the board over his abs.
Yeah, he broke like a 2x4 across.
And Sho's just like, hey, man,
like,
what's
that's how
going
they trained
on
me.
here?
Like, I feel no pain.
During the whole time, we're seeing that flashback of him in his old dojo. Ha!
Because he's going in his mind, he's going back to the shadows.
Going back to the shadows.
But he made a conscious decision to never go back to the shadows. So he's inner turmoil going on right now. He's like, I don't want to be a ninja. I don't like, because like you think of ninjas as being scumbag murderers, he does too. He's like, I don't want to go back there.
Well, they absolutely are.
So he's like, enough. Because then he's like, all right, I'm going to torture your kid. And he's like, all right, that's bridge too far.
I love it because he's like, oh, I see you're going to be a tough nut to crack. So let's go ahead and open up this little cane cracker over here. And he gets a blowtorch and he just starts like waving it around the kid's face.
And Shane is like, duh. It's like
Shane,
like a moron.
Shane is just kind of like numb right now. He doesn't have the complete ninja training yet.
He's inept. He has no training. I think he would wear his diapers. Yeah,
it's a
because he's just like, duh.
It's a good.
Like this,
you
like
make
look
a good point there. I was trying to give him more.
And
credit.
you know, like Sho's like, I kind of want him to just kill the kid, but my wife loves him, so I love my wife. So he gets back to the shadows for a second, and he like kicks. There's a light like hanging from the ceiling. He kicks it, and then disappears. Him and Shane disappear.
Every light in the building goes out. It's complete black. That's when he does his best work. Grabs
in the shadows.
Grabs Shane. Boom! Right out.
Because this happens in like 1 second. It happens faster than the framing of the dollar bill.
Oh my god! So yes. So he gets his kid. He gets out of there, and of course we're gonna have to go into the next day. He's telling his family, "Look, you guys stay in the house, stay safe." Well, after he got the phone call, of course, he went into that cigar hut, and he was looking to see what was going on. And, of course, it was noted earlier that the door had a padlock on the outside. Well, the door was just ajar. The door is open.
Right.
And then, so he notices a floorboard's missing.
He notices there's a nail with some fibers hanging from it. He like taps into his ninja CSI skills.
Oh my god, that's like the 10th ninja skill is like the CSI skill.
Right, and he can tell immediately, I know who did this. I know who stole this from these fibers and from these boards. Obviously someone left-handed did this.
Yes.
and I can tell just by these fibers who did this, because only one person can have a gray like blazer.
A gray suit. Also somehow it's seriously just him looking at a door and then a close-up of a nail, and somehow that alludes to a left-handed person. So his sons are looking fly as shit. Well, Kane's looking fly as shit.
Well, before that, he's like, all right, I'm going to go to the cops.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just building it up here.
Okay.
Give me a second here. I'm going to build it up. Shane's looking fly as shit, and we're all like, man.
Kane is looking fly as
I'm
shit.
sorry.
Shane is looking like shit.
Kane. Kane's looking fly as shit. And Shane, of course, is just looking as aloof as ever. And, he's telling him,
Comatose.
Kane, do not let your brother leave this house. Even if he kicks his fucking soccer ball out the window like he did that other day.
Well, I'm going to say why Kane looks fly as shit, because he's wearing a black and white Thriller jacket.
Dude, yes.
All you needed was a glittery glove.
I
wish he had that.
Oh, my God. It was so amazing. Like, out of nowhere, he's wearing this dope-ass shit
By the
jacket.
way, I had a friend who had one of those jackets. Those were very popular back then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
I thought they
Michael
just
Jackson
randomly found it.
No, it was huge, dude. My friend had the jacket and the glove.
Oh, good. So your friends are great.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead. Sho's telling the kids, do not fucking leave the house.
Whatever
You've
do,
caused me enough
don't-
trouble already.
Right.
I already
just-
have a kill list that's so long, and we've been in America for
Right.
2
Don't
days.
make me go back to the shadows, you
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
If you make me go back to the fucking shadows, he's always telling his kids that. And his wife, unfortunately. But it's been, 2 days, right?
Yeah.
2 days, okay. So he goes...
We're looking, as a country, we're looking very bad. Like,
Yeah.
we're not very welcoming.
No, we're not representing ourselves well at all. So he's going to go to the police. Finally,
Well,
doing the right thing.
He's like, all right, I'll listen to my wife because I just want to have my fucking Japanese restaurant. I don't want trouble. I don't want. I just
we got
want
to see him put his sign up and everything.
right.
Beautiful.
So this is where we meet the most useless fucking cops on the planet. We bumped into the character Lieutenant Anderson, and he's like, okay, he explains everything to Lieutenant Anderson. He's like, yeah, I know that guy. That's Limehouse Willie. He's a dangerous guy.
Yeah, he hands him like the photo sheet, and
mugshot.
He points him out, out
Yeah.
of a photo sheet of 100 people. He points him out.
And while he's talking, we also see Carl's back and his buddy. We found out that those guys that were dumping the cocaine and stole the necklace, they're cops.
Yes,
And they're crooked cops.
and they just stand in and listen to the whole conversation.
Right. And this is basically the conversation. Sho, like any normal person, would be like, okay, my kid was kidnapped. I got him back. Are you guys going to protect us? We have crazy maniacs. You think we have this necklace we do not have.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lieutenant Anderson's like, yeah, we'll help you if you help us.
Yeah.
And he's like, we want you. What do you want him to do? Like,
He's like, look, what I don't know what you want us to do. Look, if you want us to help you out, you need to go, that guy.
what, are we
hands
supposed to
out-
protect and serve you? What's with
Yeah.
your deal?
He's just like, if you want us to help you, go to the docks and get some evidence. He tells them to do their job.
Meanwhile, Carl and his buddy are looking on.
Yeah.
They're getting nervous because Sho taps into the 9 powers of the ninja, and he's like, he notices, because only a ninja can notice this, there's 3 fibers missing from the sleeve of Carl's jacket, and they match perfectly the fibers that he had. So he throws this out to throw him off. He's like, are you left-handed?
Yeah. And I'll mind you, just to fill in a little gap here, we've already seen Carl in his normal police work before this scene. He does every single last thing with his left hand. Coffee mug, left hand. Right, left hand. Phone, left hand.
Yeah.
Picking up paper from the printer, left hand. So, Sho, asked him.
Shooting wad up ball of paper into the trash can.
Exactly.
Left-handed.
Everything
That's hard.
left-handed. So, that's hard. Well, you're right-handed.
Well, right. I'm not a normal person.
So Sho sniffs it out by the sleeve fibers, missing a couple strands, and then he asks him about the left-handed just to fucking throw him off his base. And of course, the guy's like, left-handed. Of course I am. But you'll note the whole time after that, he does everything with his right hand.
I didn't notice that, but
Everything.
that's very really. I like that, man. That they thought about that in the script.
It's the tiny details of this movie that really make it work.
So Sho's like, oh, you guys are useless. Whatever, fine. And he just leaves. Cut back to the restaurant. Mom's busting her ass, cooking, taking care of the restaurant. Kane and Shane are kicking a fucking basketball around in their bedroom.
And soccer ball.
Was it who? I gotta think it's Shane's dipshit ass kicked the ball out the window.
Oh no, it was absolutely Shane. You know it was because he's an asshole.
And Kane's rolls his eyes.
He's the Loki
like,
to Kane's Thor.
right? And Kane's is like, oh, God damn, not again. And he's like, all right, I'll go get the fucking ball, you fucking idiot, Shane. So he goes out, had his sweet ass Michael Jackson jacket on.
Dude, you're getting it mixed up. Kane doesn't go out there. Kane doesn't go get the ball.
I thought they both went out.
No. It looked like Kane was gonna go do it because Kane does anything that requires a modicum of skill, responsibility. So what happens is
You're right. I know. Yeah.
Shane just goes into a rage and just runs out the door to get his ball. And Kane's following behind him, but he just ends up in the doorway looking fly with that jacket on, with his mom standing by.
He moonwalks out the doorway.
Yeah, and his mom.
That's probably how Shane got ahead of him because he was moonwalking.
Yeah,
while Shane was walking.
So his mom gets a little stargazed by Shane's moonwalking or Kane's moonwalking, and doesn't notice that her kid's about to be hit by a car. And then when she finally does notice it, she runs.
Car, by the way, driven by our bad guys.
Yup. So the mom makes it out there in time to grab Shane. Got the name right that time.
Grab him in time so they can both be run over.
So they get both run over and fucking just wrecked.
And it was pretty. I laughed. It was funny.
There was a dummy in there, and it gets thrown 45 feet into the air. It's like the car hit you doing 20. I mean, yeah, it's not good, but you don't go flying 35.
And then, so then there's this stupid scene where the guys they hit Shane and mom, take off, like drive like 3 blocks away.
Yeah.
They meet up with Limehouse Willie. He's like, "Hey, take that other car and go back and check out what happened." He's like, "We know what happened. We ran over these
because this
people.
Shitty neighborhood where there's nothing but hoodlums walking around at all times. There's 100 people on the streets. It's a suburban like neighborhood, but there's always 100 people walking around. If you ever live in the suburbs, that never fucking happens. So this car accident scene happens to draw a crowd of about 100 people. They bring the truck around. At this time, Sho pulls back up, sees his wife and kid.
He was driving like fucking shitty
ass. Geo, a little Geo. I loved it. I love like the most powerful ninja in America drives a tiny Geo. I loved it. It was the best.
It's fuel efficient and economical.
It's fuel efficient. It's economical. Like the ghost whipping that motherfucker is a trip. Like I've seen that on X to the Z's show, Pimp My Ride. I think.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was great. It's okay. The youth will know.
So the bad guys they got the Sanford and Son truck and they show up to I guess to admire their work. And Sho this Sho like somehow I guess he taps into his ninja powers. He knows that they did it. Or did somebody say, like, probably, because this is actually a neighborhood where people care about each other. Probably said, hey, those are the guys who just ran over your kid. They're in a different car. What the fuck's going on?
This is not a neighborhood where people care about each other. Sam Green told them it wasn't. No, he just fucking ninja sensed it, man. Okay. I'm sorry. He ninja sensed it.
Okay. Anyway, he just starts running towards it. Well, no, he chases them in his car.
Yeah, he does.
He's like,
not enough torque on this bitch.
And then for some reason they both like run off the road, and the truck just stalls. Like in every movie, a car just stalls for no reason. You stop it, and so the bad guys can't get away. So Sho leaps out, leaps in the flatbed. They get the truck started again, start taking off. Sho like breaks out the back window, yanks out the guy in the passenger seat, beats the shit out of him. The fucking driver freaks out. He starts shooting his gun at anybody behind him. Shoots his buddy.
The gun, starts shooting. Sho sees that he's got the gun. He uses
the guy as a shield.
He uses the guy as a shield. Tosses him out of the truck and then he jumps out of the truck himself. Does a nice front flip while he's doing it. And of course, what does the truck do? It veers off the road, and there's a couple of
they're going like 20, 25 miles an hour.
They're going like 20 miles, which of course is fast, but for the wreckage that's about to happen, because that wild truck happens to run into 2 abandoned cars.
Well, they're just parked on the side of the road. I don't know.
Well, the hoods were up, so I thought they were abandoned.
I don't know.
Well, they all explode.
Well, immediately fireball explosion.
Basically, this part of America, unknown USA.
It's probably ran into a Pinto, because Pintos would explode upon collision.
Maybe. That's the only way to explain that. But his whole family's been fucked up. So
not Kane. He's Superfly still.
Yeah, good point. So, he's got to go figure out what's going on with his family at this point, right?
Well, they go to the hospital.
Okay.
And so I think Shane's in a coma, or he's just being Shane. I can't tell. And his head's like wrapped in bandages, and he's got a black eye. And mom's got like her head wrapped in bandages.
She's totally fucked up. And the doctors are just like, yeah, she'll be good in a day or two. She just got hit by a fucking car.
She's not Shane. So.
Oh, good point. Your wife's going to be good in a day or two. Your son, however, seems to have this problem where he said,
they were like,
sucks.
He was like, I think your son's brain damaged. He's like, no, that's just Shane. He's fine.
He keeps trying to kick a soccer ball out the window. No, that's just Shane.
So now Sho is fucking ninja furious. He's
got
like,
that ninja.
look, I've tried to stay out of it, mind my own business. I come to America. I just want to start my business. You motherfuckers, payback time. So Limehouse Willie's having a party on the boat. This big, like, fucking ocean liner. It's like a fucking aircraft carrier.
Right.
And it's heavily guarded, but it shows a ninja. So that ain't going to stop him.
It won't stop him at all. And thankfully, the police tell him, yeah, he's a rat that lives on the dock. So he knows exactly what dock that means.
And, yeah.
So he gets there.
The one with armed guards everywhere.
Yeah. It's like in a video game, man. As soon as you see more assailants,
he's like Solid Snake. He gets in like his cardboard box and he sneaks up on some guys.
Did you just make a Metal Gear reference?
Yeah.
I love it. Oh god, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I just remember that was I played the first one.
Yeah,
and I just remember the cardboard box.
I love Metal
which
Gear.
you use like once through the whole fucking.
I love Metal Gear. So he tears through this boat like. He just
picking them off left and right.
Yeah,
ninja skills.
He just walks through it basically,
snapping necks. He's just having he's having a great time.
And he does the normal ninja thing, where you cut the lights, and everyone's like, "Oh, the party's over," and he winds up behind Limehouse Willie, and he's got that knife to his neck, and he's like, "Remember that time you cut my chest? Well, I'm about to cut your throat." Unless. What information did he get out of him?
I think he just says, look, we don't have your fucking necklace. Stay the fuck out of our lives, and I'll let you live. But if you keep fucking with us, you'll pray for death. And then the lights cut back on, and he's gone.
There is no possible way that is... Back to the foreshadowing. I don't remember how I was doing that earlier. I think that was it.
I don't know.
Back to the foreshadow. I think that was it.
That's it. So, Limehouse Willie, he's like, nobody does that to Limehouse Willie. He's furious about this. I mean, he can just cut his losses. He knows by now they don't have the fucking necklace.
Yeah.
But he's just like, no, I got to get my revenge.
He absolutely knew. Like, in this time, we got to see, like, his big boss man that looked like...
Mr. Newman.
He looked like the guy from fucking Price is Right. Roddy.
Okay.
Was that his name? The guy who was Bob Barker's like announcer?
I don't know. I remember Jimmy not Jimmy Olsen. It was Johnny Olsen.
I think it was Roddy.
You might
but
be
he had
right.
those big glasses. He had that little comb over kind of look going to him. That's what this big bad guy reminded me of.
It's Mr. Newman. And he was, even though his name's Mr. Newman, he was like the cliche mafia Italian guy kind of character. And you notice he hired a lot of guys with mustaches. He had a lot of nerdy, like sweater vest having mustache henchmen. I don't know what was up with that.
Hey, I don't know.
They're like Ned Flanders' gang was like his henchmen. That's probably why Sho kicked their ass so easily.
You were older in that age. I was just a mere child, so I would need you to tell me, like, was that just a thing you saw? Did you see a lot of gritty people on the streets near the docks with mustaches?
80s was a very mustache day.
That's
well,
what
I mean,
thought.
Burt Reynolds was king in the 80s because of his mustache. And Tom Selleck.
Exactly. Just like now, you got all these people growing beards and everything, so maybe that was just...
You're right. It was a continuation. 80s mustache, 90s goatee, 2000s beard. It's like it was a got hairier. Will got hairier.
Yeah.
So you think Limehouse Willie like, I almost get killed by a ninja. I'm not gonna fuck with this guy. No, Limehouse Willie's so fucking crazy. He's like, fuck that guy, and he just slashes his fucking arm open with a knife.
Yeah.
Because this is Limehouse's brilliant plan. I'm going to cut myself open so I'm taken into the hospital. Because apparently he can't just go in the hospital and just say like I'm sick or whatever. He's got to he's very method about it. He's like, I'm going to make it look like I'm about to die, and then I'm going to get in the hospital because there's cops. Now finally fucking Lieutenant Anderson's taking it seriously. He's like, all right, if I have to protect your family, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And so they have armed guards and everything.
Yep. They got armed guards. I think both Shane and the wife have a room. Yeah, Shane
They have
and
separate
the wife.
rooms. Yeah,
They have separate rooms, but they both have, they're both in the hospital.
Right. So now Limehouse Willie, he's like in his hospital bed, and a doctor comes in. He's like, "Hey, I need something for the pain." So usually, maybe it was different in like '85, but usually they just give you like a pill. No, this guy pulls out a syringe. He's like, "I'm gonna inject you with like fucking morphine."
You're not gonna wake up for 14 days.
And then Limehouse Willie grabs him. The guy's like, "Hey, stop! What are you doing?" Like there's a cop like right out there, and he's not doing anything.
Nothing. Just
And
hanging
then
out.
so
He
Limehouse
called it in at least.
And then Limehouse murders this doctor.
Yeah.
And then takes his outfit, his clothes.
Yeah.
And so
So-
then he goes to
This is-
Sho's wife's room.
Yeah, this is in the time, like, we had a nice scene of all of them playing cards, Sho and his wife playing cards. They're all having fun and everything.
They're playing Go Fish.
They're playing Go Fish.
The most wholesome fucking game you can play.
Right. And then Shane, Sho's got to go put Shane to bed or whatever, and then
No, he's got
off.
to take Kane home. They got to
Yeah,
go
he's
because
gotta
visiting
go.
hours are over.
And so both his wife and his dunce of a son are left alone, and we already know that Limehouse is on the prowl. So Limehouse prowls into the wife's room first,
Right.
and I don't remember how this scene worked out.
Well, he just walks right in and then it's this grabs something like some tape to cover her mouth, and then it just
Yeah.
cuts away.
Oh,
So we don't know what
yeah.
the hell is going on. I thought he was going to hold her hostage because he was like covering her mouth and all this shit.
He disguised as a doctor because they had armed guards.
Right.
And so he's like, "Oh, I'm just here to administer the pills." And the armed guards are like, "Well, of course, you're a doctor, so of course that's what you would do." And, they phone it in or whatever.
I'm
Somebody
beginning
calls the
to
guards.
understand why there's so much crime in these neighborhoods because the cops are fucking useless.
Pointless. I mean, they're telling civilians, "Hey, he's on the docks. Go get him, and then we'll protect you." What?
Yeah, if you do our job, if you actually, how about you protect yourself?
This is like cops from
It's
a
like
Marvel
that.
comic.
It's like the thing where it's like, hey man, you can give a man a fish or you can teach him how to fish, and I think that's the attitude Anderson takes. He's like, you won't need me if you know how to protect yourself.
That's why we don't know what city it is, because that city completely burnt down.
So back to the movie.
Back to the movie. Go ahead.
So basically, I was gonna cut to the chase. Sho's wife's murdered.
Just dead.
And then, so now it's time for Shane's death, and
Well,
and by this point we're all kind of like, hope we're praying for his death, definitely.
I like how you worked in the movie title, but I'm just like, oh, is Shane gonna die now?
He's cramping Kane's style. I mean, Kane is like, I can tell in his mind, he's like, I'll never have to be able to have my own life because I'm gonna have to take care of this moron his whole fucking life. That's like Kane's thing.
Maybe Shane will figure out how to be good at computers or something. You know, he could have been good at something, dude. Go on.
Sure.
Just take it away. Take it away.
So he comes in. He's like, once again, the cops are like, "Oh, you're a doctor. Go right in." And he doesn't have like, 'cause don't doctors have like name tags and shit?
Well, yeah, they usually
Like with like
have
their
some
picture
kinda-
on it.
They'll have identification.
Maybe
of some sort.
maybe this movie caused them to do that, but maybe they didn't do it back then.
Oh yeah.
Because the doctor he killed was like a black guy, so there's no way he could have just used that guy's thing. So, but they let him in because he's got the white jacket. He's a doctor.
I wear white jackets around all the time just to confuse people.
So he walks in, pulls out this fucking syringe with like a 10-foot long needle on it.
Yeah.
He's like
When did that
hardcore.
stop being popular? Like, what? Come on, let's get those guys back. I feel like any good pediatrician should walk into the room with a 10-foot syringe and just be like, "Hey, little Tommy here for vaccination." That's probably what's got all these anti-vaxxers going.
They're scared of
probably
needles.
They're the ones afraid of needles.
I don't know. They can fuck off.
I don't know. Man of War needs to teach him a lesson.
Sure. So at this time, just as like Limehouse Willie is about to kill Shane, Lieutenant Anderson finally fucking shows up. And he's like, he radios the cop that's guarding Shane's room. He's like, "Hey, what's going on? Is everything okay?" "Oh, yeah, sure. We just let a doctor in." He's like, "You idiot."
Fucking imbecile.
And he's like, so just in the nick of time, the cops bust in on Limehouse Willie.
Yep.
And Limehouse Willie, he's an elderly Englishman, but somehow he gets the drop on these cops and like kills them.
He just fucking lays waste to them like it's nothing. Pushes them over. It's like blowing out birthday candles.
It's like a city full of Barney Fifes is like their police department. And so he just kills them all. And fortunately, this cop is also much like the doctor. This cop's also the same size as Limehouse Willie, so he puts on a cop uniform because now he knows people be questioning doctors, but you never question a cop, even though you think all these cops would kind of know each other.
Ooh, there's so much happening here. All I know, I mean, am I missing something here? Because I'm about to just jump straight to Sho finding his dead wife.
Well, no, yeah, you're right. But they put the hospital on lockdown, but since he's wearing a cop uniform, he just walks out. So Limehouse really takes off.
Limehouse, okay.
Sho comes back.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, sorry, my bad, your wife got killed.
Hey,
and
you're going to hate us for this one. Your wife, dead?
But your son's still alive.
Your son's still alive?
Kinda. And so this is a great scene because Sho sheds some tears. He really gets emotional in this scene, man.
And he's always wearing guy liner, so it's like it
runs a little.
Runs
well, no, he only wears the guy liner when he's in ninja mode.
He had a little guy liner on, man.
Well, you gotta make the eyes look a little bigger.
That's true.
So then Sho he gets into this great speech. What's he say to the cop girl?
So I'm sorry. First off, over his wife's, deceased body, he starts saying some final words, and he's saying some beautiful things about flowers and how she's going to rise again, and how when she does rise, he'll fertilize it and make sure it grows into a mighty, beast and everything. And it's like, what is he talking about?
With his seed?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he starts swearing his vengeance. He's swearing his vengeance as a ninja.
So you're telling me he's back to the shadows?
Murray, he's not just back to the shadows. He's fucking in a full shadow outfit. Like, just completely covered in shadow now. But, I believe it's Kane, has the door cracked. For a ninja, he has no awareness of doors. And so one of his kids, I'm pretty sure it was Kane, was listening in.
Shane's fucked up. He can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. So one of his kids is just listening in on him being like, I'm returning to my ninja-ness. So we get that,
Kane goes, and does a little split and a moonwalk.
You just hear the shifting of the feet. That's the point.
His dad, you just hit his dad like a smooth criminal.
Yeah, exactly. So
Sho's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. He just grabs Shane out of the... Shane's like in a coma right now. And
I thought he grabbed his wife.
No, he grabbed Shane because his wife's dead.
Oh, okay. So he grabs his...
He grabs his one living family member.
And he's walking out. And our police chief from earlier, the same one who told him...
And they're like, sir, your kid has severe brain damage. He's like, no, that's just Shane. He's fine. And he walks, and then Anderson goes, "Hey, you can't do that," And then what is
So the same officer from earlier that basically told him to solve his own fucking crime.
Anderson, yeah.
Anderson. He approaches him. If you take the boy, police can't protect you. My wife is dead, and you talk about police protection? My wife loved this country, wanted to come here, start a new life. This is the land of the free. Free what? Free to kill? Free to rape? Free to rape women and children and go unpunished? If we are all free to do what we like, I'm free to make sure these animals won't go unpunished. Don't take this law into your own hands.
Now he's telling him not to take the law into his own hands.
Yeah.
First of all, he's like, you do everything.
Yeah, go ahead and hit me with, don't take the law into your own hands.
You can't take the law into your own hands.
Don't try to stop me, Mr. Policeman. You don't understand.
He doesn't understand. He's the most clueless fucking cop.
He doesn't know about the shadows. He doesn't know how to get back in the shadows.
But Sho does.
Sho absolutely fucking does. And this is where we're going to get our nice fucking ninja montage.
Well, before that, I don't know how
Oh,
how Willie figured it out. But he finally figures out it's Carl that stole the necklace.
oh yeah. I don't know. The left-handed thing and seeing Carl fumble around as a righty. I think
He's like, you're not fooling anybody. So Carl's like having a dinner. I guess he had the necklace on him because I know Willie gets it back. But he's just eating dinner, and then Willie just shows up, whips out a machine gun, and just murders everybody in the restaurant.
a nice little Italian restaurant. Fucking everybody murdered.
Thankfully, Carl had the necklace on him, so Willie takes it from the dead body,
Yep.
and then he goes back to Mr. Newman to give him the necklace back.
Yep.
So you figure, he's like, oops, my bad. I guess those Japanese people really didn't steal it. People make mistakes.
But I mean, his big boss already told him. Those guys already know too much, and I'm sorry. I'm going to use some offensive language here. I think we were already being ridiculous with our accents, our Sho Kosugi impressions.
I think it was totally accurate.
I think we were doing a pretty good job.
I think if let's just get real for a second. If you're really sounding like a person, I don't know what's offensive about that.
Well,
I mean, I understand if we were like getting all like.
I have a hard time. It's like I am completely impressed by the fact that he knows this much English. Like I went to other countries and I could say maybe 3 words in their language. Sho Kosugi did a whole fucking movie in
You
their
were
language.
basically like Shane in the.
I was
these other
Shane.
countries.
I would walk up to a nice bratwurst vendor and I'd be like, give me the schwagwlagelio. And they'd be like, they would hold up the various meats and I'd point to them. That's how.
That's
bad.
very Shane-like.
Sho Kosugi could at least, we knew what he was saying 99% of the time. There was a couple.
I would say 82% of the time.
82? Okay,
Yeah.
82. That's still really good.
Well, yeah.
He did a really good job.
It beats having a bad like dubbing,
And also, it beats a bad dubbing, and also Shane Kosugi is one of our favorites. We watch all of his movies.
Well, no, I hate Shane Kosugi, but Sho Kosugi is awesome.
Did I say Shane?
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Shane can fucking die for all I care.
Wow. Let's not say that.
So back to the warehouse. So Sho knows he can't go back to the restaurant. They know he's there, but they don't know that he also owns this warehouse.
The warehouse, man.
So he takes Shane, just throws Shane like on a mat, like a dirty
really.
mattress.
Hey, hang out here and just look at this paint dry.
And he's like, "What's your brother? I have ninja shit to do." And so he puts on the ninja, like the Bushido wear,
Yep.
and he's like, "I got to make a sword."
I love that he burned his wife in the fire, and he was building the sword with her ashes. That's beautiful.
Did he? I don't even remember that.
No, I just made that up. I was
Well,
thinking about
it
that
is
earlier.
beautiful, though.
It is beautiful.
And we'll go with it. That happened.
He's murdering people with
I
his
think
wife.
he just left his wife in the hospital. Was like, do whatever you want with
Yeah,
her. I don't
really.
fucking care shit.
Well, he eventually did get her back. But
Yes.
go on.
So we have this great sword making montage. I don't know where he got all the equipment to make a sword, but it's there at the warehouse, and he's making a kick-ass sword. While
Beautiful.
Kane, once again, Peeping Tom Kane, is checking him out, watching,
Yeah.
being inspired.
For sure.
He's like, I'm gonna soup up my bicycle while my dad's making his sword.
That
I
was
don't
the
want
weirdest thing.
to. I want to be industrious like my father.
So this is where the movie, like, if I got to see this movie as a 7, 8, whenever I started watching these action movies, this would have immediately been a top movie for me because it had kids in it. 3 Ninjas, one of my favorite movies. Basically, Kane is a 3 ninja. Shane, I don't know what to say about him. But Kane was definitely a 3 ninja. So he built his own traps, and we get the next cut to Kane going to the docks on his bike.
Well, they split up. Like,
Well, are you saying his dad took him there?
no, his dad went to the Mr. Newman's mansion.
Yes, okay.
To do his business.
Yeah.
And he's like, Kane, I don't know why
Why?
Mr. Newman's men were at the docks, but
Why?
they were. Maybe they were looking for these guys. I don't know.
Why do you think Kane
Did you
went
I
there?
also noticed one of the henchmen was like an evil Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, he was. I noticed that too. I laughed about that a lot.
So Kane starts. He's like basically what the fuck is the Goonies kid? What was his name?
I don't know. I've never seen the Goonies.
I think it's Data was his name. He's like
No,
Data. I think that's what he was called in the movie.
That's-
Because he's got all these booby traps on his bike. So like, hey, there's that Japanese kid. Get him! And then he's like, fuck you. pushes a button, and all of a sudden smoke screen comes out the back of his bike.
Yeah.
He's got a slingshot. He's got in the nuts with a slingshot.
I love it because it's like he's riding his bike while these guys are like, let's just run him over in the car we're driving right now. But then the smoke screen goes out, and it's like, well, we could punch it, or we could just start
they're
swerving
blinded.
the wheel a lot.
They're blinded. They can't see. It's like a smoke bomb on the back of his car.
So they crash their fucking car and they get out. Kane kicks the shit out of them.
Well, he's got a slingshot. He hits the guy in the nuts. He's got a blow dart he made. Hits
Yep.
the guy in the throat, murders him.
He doesn't just have a blow dart that he made. It's in his bike spokes. And he's got these pegs, those extra long pegs that he trips up people. And I will say,
I remember
do you
that,
remember?
yeah,
There's people
yeah.
on either side of him,
Right.
and there's cardboard boxes for the one, so he
Of
falls.
course.
Into
You got to have cardboard boxes. I mean, I was waiting for there to be a fruit stand where somebody falls on.
Exactly. So,
But-
of course, the guy who falls in cardboard boxes, the peg that trips him up falls off with him. So it's like, what?
Well, he didn't have that much time to soup up his bike.
So we get this hilarious scene of Kane just owning. But
And then we get this
can
awesome scene.
Please, let's get back to business, right?
You have this awesome Kingdom Show just murdering people. He goes straight to the fucking boss's
Thank
house.
you. Thank you.
Puts on. He's got the shredder helmet on. He's
Oh,
just
my
like
God.
he's got this like sweet little like sheer gauze across his face.
How much guy liner would you say?
Dude, it was like
Full on raccoon?
yes.
Just fucking smeared on
He
it.
a little eyeshadow, a little rouge. He was ready to murder, and murder he did. He's once again taking us back to the foreshadow of the beginning of the movie, where he's showing us how these ninja tools use. He uses them again, and he's like
All of them.
He's killing everybody. He does a sweet David Lee Roth split in the air and kicks some guys in the face.
He's just fucking slashing people open with that sword he made of his wife's ashes. Like,
And that fucking sweet ass shredder mask where it's like hinge where you can open the mouth up.
Yeah.
it's like double doors like from a saloon, and you can open them up.
I-
show off that sweet little gauze he has covering his face.
I'm pretty sure I'm skipping over here, but you mentioned the gauze and opening that shit up. But, like, I don't remember how he captures Mr. Newman or whatever the fuck his name was. But he had, like, a bunch of spears, like, kind of trapping him.
I can tell you what he did.
Tell me what he did.
Well, first, he's murdering everybody with every kind. He's
Yeah.
got a katana, he's got throwing stars, he kills everybody that way. So he's got a special way of killing Mr. Newman. So Mr. Newman, he's like a bitch hiding in his house. It's like, I don't know how to really describe it, but it's like a pinwheel, but it's like spikes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this is like a weapon. And he hurls it at Mr. Newman, pins them with the spikes through his throat
Yeah, it goes through.
to like a door. Kills fucking Mr. Newman. Everybody's dead, only except for Limehouse Willie.
He's not quite dead yet. He unveils his face just to show him.
He's like, look at my eyeliner, how beautiful it is. I didn't even smudge my eyeliner. That's how
Newman
bad it
doesn't
is.
even know who this fuck is at this point. Like, he doesn't know. So it's like, I'm going to show you my face. You don't know me. I don't know you. But you got it.
And then he dies.
So,
And
but
Willie,
Limehouse.
Willie, like the psychotic bitch he is, peels out and takes off. And then Sho is like, I'm not done with you. So Sho chases after him. He's like running after these trucks. And Limehouse is like, well, shit, I can run over this guy. No, you can't, motherfucker.
Oh my God, the jump over the truck.
Not in a jump. It was a fucking flip over a truck.
Did a flip.
Fucking awesome ass stunt.
Dude, I've seen Kobe do it.
No, Kobe just fucking jumped.
Yeah,
Sho flipped.
you didn't give me time.
Fuck Kobe.
Kobe jumped. Shogi flipped. You see how I did that? Because it's Sho Kosugi. Shogi.
I get it.
Okay.
And it was fucking sweet. And then he's like, Limehouse is like, I don't care. That didn't impress me. Apparently, he's a Kobe fan. So he tries to run Sho over again, and Sho does the fucking Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark move where he grabs underneath and he's holding underneath.
Oh, yeah. He went flat and grabbed. Oh, my God. No. So he gets dragged all the way. Not dragged.
He's hanging on.
Hangs on.
For probably about 3 hours because it goes from day to night.
Yeah, it goes
And he's
day to
still
night.
hanging on.
He goes from wherever USA to basically the Twin Peaks lodge where they're chopping up trees.
Well, no. They go back to the warehouse. Back to the warehouse.
Oh, that's right. It was just the warehouse.
Right, where Shane is still at, I'm assuming. And Kane is like there.
That's right.
And Burt Reynolds is still there.
Why did I think there's a sawmill?
Well, because that happens later. This is the most bizarre warehouse I've ever seen.
I fucking don't get this movie at this point.
Because what happens is Sho murders Burt Reynolds. He kills all the henchmen, but he's chasing after Lime. I don't know why the fuck Limehouse went back to the warehouse. You figure he would just fucking leave.
Yeah, no.
But so he goes back to his enemy's lair for some reason. Okay, and this is where it gets really bizarre. Okay, so we got, not only do we have a sword making shop in this warehouse, we also have about 1,000 mannequins, and it's a lumber yard too.
That's right.
So Sho is chasing. There's a cat and mouse game where Sho is chasing Limehouse Willie through it. And of course, we get the scene where it's like, is it a mannequin? Is it a person? You know, and then you see a head, and it's Limehouse Willie. And so Limehouse Willie, he's kind of tapping into his ninja skills. I don't know where he got these skills from, but he stabs Sho in the leg with like a stick.
Yeah, he did.
And Sho like breaks it off. I don't know. I think it would make more sense to pull it out, but I don't know. Maybe it's next to like a femoral artery, and you don't want to do that.
I don't know.
And for whatever reason, so it makes it a little more believable that an elderly man could stop a ninja because he's injured.
We got to try really hard to make this believable.
So there's more just fighting back and forth. Sho's got the samurai sword. Willie's got like this fucking like sickle type. I don't know where he got it and thing. Cut to the chase. They wind up in this lumber yard in the warehouse.
Yeah.
So basically what it is, there's chainsaws everywhere. There's like a conveyor belt that has the big like tree trunk on it that cuts the like tree trunk in half, like the big saw blade.
Oh, perfect movie trope too, with the like slow moving,
right?
Tread.
So first we get this fucking awesome like chainsaw fight. Chainsaw's not even fucking on.
Oh my
god!
God.
Totally like it's just a lot of sound effects.
We watched it again before this, and it was basically Willie Limehouse, Willie Lilly,
Limehouse Willie.
He was basically making the chainsaw noises with his mouth. You see his lips puttering. And it's just like, come on, man. You could at least put that in later. No, they went for just him making the noises himself.
And then Limehouse Willie, he starts up the conveyor belt that has the saw blade on it. And then Sho conveniently has a little ninja throwing star on the forehead of his shredder helmet. So he pulls it off and throws it at the controls and stops it with a ninja star.
Very plainly written out in like whiteout, the old pen whiteout shit. Start and stop, as if we didn't understand the difference between a red and a green button.
Well, there's some Shanes out there that maybe would understand.
So the Shanes of the world would understand that meant stop, especially when the fact that he stopped on the little trajectory belt there.
So at this point, Sho has a flashback. He's seeing his master. He's remembering his brother. All this shit. And then fucking his master says the prophetic line that I wrote down. Let me see if I can find it.
Can he find it?
Remove the guilt from your past, or one day it will kill you.
Oh, shit, the guilt.
And so he just removes all the guilt over Shoji and over his wife. I don't get it either, but...
Next thing you know...
He's back. He's fully in the shadows. He's embracing the shadows.
He's beyond shadows. I don't know what beyond shadows is. Somehow he's negative dark at this point. He's a black...
He's so dark, he's light.
He's a black hole at this point.
He's sucking in light. You're right.
Yeah.
And so he whips out... I think they were nunchucks, but they had knives on the ends. Mm-hmm. So he throws fucking Limehouse Willie on this like log and pins his hands down with the nunchuck blades.
Yeah. It was just nunchucks that had little buttons, and little knives came out.
So then he just saunters over, pulls the ninja star out of the start and stop fucking thing. Thing starts up. Limehouse knows what's going to happen. He's freaking out. He's like, "Kill me! Kill me!"
Are you telling me that he just prayed for death?
He was praying for death. But he didn't get it. Well, he got it, but not the way he wanted to get it.
What?
Because Sho just walks out, and then we just see. I think it would have been a little bit better because we just see a close up of the blade and hear like the sound effects. It would have been better if there's some blood splattered on the blade, but we didn't get that. So we use our imagination. The guy got basically split in half by a saw blade. He deserved it.
So we've got all of our bad guys murdered. The only thing we have to deal with now is, the losing your wife and realizing your child is a dunce, one of the two. So
And you're going to have to raise them now.
Yeah, by yourself. So he's going to go visit his wife, and he buried her with her father.
Right.
And, he says some nice words over the grave and everything.
And he sheds a single tear. Another great
Just
acting
one.
moment from Sho.
Of course, Detective Anderson.
Yes. Lieutenant
I just
Anderson.
remember him as Mr. Policeman. Shows up and it's just like, you figured that all out from a gray thread and a left hand. You're some kind of man, Mr.
Saito.
Saito. You should have been a detective. And, he's like, are you going to leave America now? Because, we fucking suck. We didn't do anything to help you out here. We didn't do our jobs.
Well, it's like, hey, yeah, well, this is how fucking lazy Anderson is. It's like, yeah, everybody who worked for Newman has been murdered. Well, that's it. We don't have to investigate.
We're all done here.
I think a ninja did it. You wouldn't know anything about ninjas, would you? No, of course not. What is a ninja?
And then he hands him back that little cookie of evidence, that little shred of factual evidence, that little shuriken. And he winks
and
at
they both
him.
wink at each other
Yeah.
because Anderson's just so lazy. He's like, hey, man, as long as I don't have to fucking fill the
Dude.
paperwork, I don't give a shit.
Of course, Sho at this point is like, of course I'm going to stay in America. I get to be a ninja, kill whoever I want, and when the cops come for me, I wink at them.
Well, as long as you do your work for them, the cops are totally cool with
The
whatever you
cops
do.
are so fucking... He's like, I could totally take advantage of America, which is why everybody in America who does well stays in America. Is like, I could totally take advantage.
Right,
of
he's
this.
like, I kind of like being back in the shadows. I'm like, I want to murder people, and I can do it here.
And so he asks him. Anderson does ask him, could ninjas still exist?
Oh, of course not.
Yeah. And of course, Kane looks at him. He's just like, Dad.
And Shane's like, duh.
So, as the old Adventure Brothers line goes, the family that slays together stays together. Murray, we just fucking killed it. Okay? But, we usually like to talk in the post here. Let's talk in the post here. And I just got to say, we had a fucking huge weekend. From between Thursday and today here, we had a huge boost in our numbers. You will be so impressed. And I think it's got a lot to do with that puppy of yours. How is she doing?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about that goddamn pup who you're like, Griff, your bitch-ass dog is stupid. I've got a new dog.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what?
she ran away or went to his farm upstate.
Ran to a farm upstate?
All I know that she's safe, I think.
Safe? You think?
Well, look, Griff.
What? What is
I just wasn't getting the numbers I wanted from her.
What?
So
numbers?
she had to go.
Can I help you out
Okay.
here? Hey. Yeah. Get over here.
Hey,
Can you see the...
Yeah, it's our intern Skippy just handed Griff a note. What's it say,
well,
Griff?
no, I'm going to hand it to you.
Oh.
Just look at those numbers.
Holy shit, Griff! We got 100! We broke 100!
Door broke 100, and you're telling me...
Skippy! Get that dog! Go to the pound! Well, if you can't get a dog that looks like it. It's just a pit bull. Griff, this is amazing. And it's all due to my puppy.
Yeah.
I love that dog!
I'm kind of worried about the dog.
What? She's great. She's at home, Griff.
Can we wrap this up and get to your fucking dog? I want to get this dog and make sure we get the right dog because your dog is getting us the
I
numbers we
have
need.
the dog. That was all jokes, Griff, what
That
I
was
said
a joke?
earlier. Sure. Wink.
Oh, well, you can't say wink out loud.
But Griff, I'm so excited.
What are you so excited
We
about?
got triple fucking digits.
Triple digits, dude.
Sure. 3/4 were bots, but this is the thing, Griff. If we're going to be really inclusive like we say we're going to be, then we need to say that bots are people too. And we need to accept them as people.
If we're accepting corporations are people, we're accepting bots are people. And the bots chose us.
So thank you, bots. I don't care if you're even Russian bots.
Most of them were from South Africa, so hey, we got that
Blood
going from
diamonds.
us. Yeah, exactly. Whoa, I mean, no.
I don't know. I don't even know if blood diamonds are from South Africa. It just sounds like something.
Yeah, okay.
All I know is I'm not going to play Sun City.
Oh,
That's a
boy.
nice 80s reference. For
So, who knows when we'll get back to the shadows?
Well, you know what, Griff? Since now we're finally getting momentum, we're finally getting where we want to be.
Yeah.
Now's the perfect time to fucking throw a monkey wrench totally into that plan.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because
Let's do
Griff, I don't know if you've noticed, but the weather's finally cooling down.
It's
Fall
cooling
is in the
down.
air. It's officially fall. And what else is coming up? Halloween.
Yeah,
Griff.
that old Halloween.
Hallows Eve,
Yeah.
which I don't know. It's a big fucking deal here in Michigan. We love our fucking Satan. We love evil. We love Halloween.
We're big on Satan.
You know, we're the fucking state that gave you Alice Cooper and unfortunately Insane Clown Posse and all that kind of evil shit. 'Cause we love fucking Halloween here, and we're hoping you guys love Halloween too because we're going to be covering some Halloween themed movies.
We got 5 whole weeks.
Yes,
of
all
October.
of October we're going to be doing Halloween movies, and I know this is probably the biggest mistake of our lives because our least fucking popular episode was the one horror movie we did, Life Force, which by the way is a great fucking episode. I don't know why you're not listening to it, but we're going to do some Halloween movies. We're going to bring in our good buddy Mike Mullins.
Yeah,
who last was on the He-Man Masters of the Universe episode.
we got him definitely locked in for 2 episodes. We're trying to kind of persuade him into doing more, but we'll see.
And don't worry, guys, we're not going to go too far from our wheelhouse because we made especially sure.
Oh my God,
we're going to do some Golden Globus actors. They're not going. Well, our Halloween movie is a Golden Globus movie.
Absolutely.
We made sure. But we're going to do some movies that have some of our favorite Golden Globus action stars. Movies we haven't even seen. We're hoping they're great.
Yeah. We're getting our second Seagal in here at some point.
We're getting another Seagal and another Chuck Norris movie.
Exactly.
Along with some other classic 80s horror movies. Classic dogs.
Can we talk about our favorite villain that's going to be coming up finally?
I can't wait. This is going to be our next movie. You want to talk about it? You guys, well, this is the thing. You think we fucking blow Steve James constantly on this show. Wait till you hear we talk about
That was the perfect segue.
Wait till you hear who we're going to talk about, Griff. I'll give you the honors.
Oh my God. His name is a little bit amazing. It's Robert Zadar. And people don't know him, but you know him.
You know his jaw. That's for damn sure.
You know his jaw for damn sure. Samurai Cop fame, and also, if you're not into the whole like weird movie 90s scene, he was also in a certain movie called Tango and Cash.
Yeah, he was.
He was in that. You would know him because he has the jaw. He basically has the one guy from Family Guy's jaw.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't think of his name.
Quagmire? Is that his
Quagmire,
name?
I think.
Yeah.
They basically stole Robert Zadar's jaw and put him on Quagmire.
Yeah, right. We can't say. Well, we're going to say a ton of shit about him next week. We can't say enough about Robert Zadar. The guy's great. He's fucking freakish looking.
Freakish as hell.
And he's the star of next week's movie, Maniac Cop.
So join us then. Fucking enjoy the shit out of it, because we definitely might.
So join us, join our buddy Mike Mullins, and have a good time celebrating Halloween Golden Globus style. So until next time, keep it warm.
Foreshadowing.
Back to foreshadow.